On today's show, we go behind the scenes of what it's like to gear up for the Expo as a dealer. We'll also get into an update on the Series 1 hockey market and some undervalued plays in the hobby and so much more. This is episode 55 of the Hockey Card Haven podcast. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome. This is episode 55 of the Hockey Card Haven podcast. This is a weekly show diving deep into the world of hockey card collecting, flipping, and investing. Just a reminder, this podcast is free and available on YouTube, and you can also listen to it for you on the go listeners on Spotify and Apple Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Distefano, my co-host, Anthony Santini, with me. What's up, pal? How you feeling today?
What's up, buddy? Solid day. 2 classes today, which is obviously brutal, but a little bit of hockey to watch tonight and a little bit of Blue Jays to watch this weekend too. I know a lot of Toronto is looking forward to that. I know I did not come prepared fashionably. You kind of called that out when I first entered the stream.
Dude, like what the hell? Like, how could you possibly rock a Yankees cap right now, 2 days away? You have tickets to the game, Anthony. You have tickets to the game, and somehow you are walking around today with a Yankees cap on your head. What the hell, man? What?
Hey, I'm saving it. I'm saving it to break the bank. I told you Friday I want to scoop the World Series. I think it's called a stretched snapback, which I've never heard of before, but looks absolutely fire. If you're watching on YouTube right now, I gotta pick up this one. So might cost me an arm and a leg. I mean, with these prices, it might be $150, but hey, my Jays, baby.
How many hats did you say you own? Because you've probably worn like 8 different hats on this podcast. Like, how many hats do you think you have, dude?
You know what? Probably like over 20 hats that I would wear. Like, there's obviously hats that I wouldn't wear. And I mean, between like golfing hats and hats I would wear like leisurely, it definitely has been adding up. And I think my dad's kind of caught on. He said that I need to pipe down with it a little bit. And my girlfriend sent me a TikTok last night saying, you know what? It's too many hats, I know.
Too many is the answer, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you want to now add a $100 hat to your collection come this weekend. I'm jealous, by the way, that you got tickets to the Blue Jays game. But we're a couple weeks away from Expo, Anthony, and it's coming up, man. November 6th to 9th, right in Toronto. At the International Center, right across from the airport in Mississauga. We're all geared up for it. I know that I'll be there all 4 days. You're going to be there 4 days, but you're setting up. You've got a booth. You and Eric. You got one last year. You got another one this year. And I thought it'd be kind of fun. I think people would be interested to hear what it's like gearing up for Expo from a dealer perspective. Like obviously a lot of the guys and gals who listen to the show, they enjoy cards and they go to shows themselves, but maybe they don't set up a whole lot and they'd like to hear about that process. So, it's the biggest hockey card show in the world, so I think, hearing from you and your process and maybe what you learned from last year that you're applying to this year, I think would be a good conversation. So what's your Expo prep look like here, Anthony? Have you started it 2 weeks out? I'd imagine so.
Yeah, so ever since I'd say the Expo in the spring, I've been preparing slowly. And I mean, I didn't go too crazy into it, but definitely knowing and kind of like analyzing a little bit, taking more notes after the last Expo. I noticed that obviously it's pretty simple, but Toronto Maple Leafs players sell so easily at the Expo. We know how liquid they are. And that's something that people always ask about, like just the popular guys, even Buffalo Bills players. So knowing that after setting up just throughout the entire summer, just kind of picking up those guys was something I really want to focus on. And a focus that I wanted to try and kind of shift, because last Expo, I was looking at my bargain bins and my lower end dollar bins kind of being a main focus on my table and having like really good ones. I just kind of noticed that, it's so much easier, obviously, to pull up one card and it might be $150 and sell that to someone. Meanwhile, it might take 2 hours to sell out of the dollar bin. And it's kind of that, the balance of having someone blocking your table only to buy $10 worth while someone walking around is looking to pick up, $300, $400, $500, maybe even more worth of cards.
Yeah.
So the angle that I'm looking at, I just picked up 2 big 38-inch by 28-inch display cases. I'm gonna have those with graded stuff. I'm gonna have one touches, anything over around $20 to $30. I want to throw in there and kind of focus on that. So that's been what I've been prepping. So now the $20 to $30 stuff. I mean, I do have a couple boxes here, but just to pull up one, I got all this of one touches now. And I don't know, just all kinds of crazy cards. And
Pull out a random card. Let's see it. What's you got a Cup RPA. Who's that of?
Dylan Gunther, and I
Okay.
don't even know what
All
else we
right.
got.
Nice.
Just all kinds of nice stuff in here. And Jamar Chase, Genesis, and CD Lamb, Rookie Prism. So just a variety of stuff that I think I want to focus on. Obviously, it's a lot easier to get these quicker sales for more expensive cards. And I think for that, that's going to be my focus of the expo. And then prep wise, I think just kind of getting all these cards organized because, like you said, only 2 weeks out. I don't think I could really grab any more cards. I'm a little bit busy with school and such. So now it's just a matter of hoping I have everything I need and organizing it appropriately.
Yeah, and I don't think people understand how difficult it is to like prepare and get prepped for Expo. Like, I guess anyone can show up and just throw their cards down on the table and try and sell them, but preparation is key, and knowing what your cards are worth and pricing out all the cards individually, like that takes time. And that's something that I'm guilty of it too. Obviously, when I go to shows, I'm always trying to get the best deal possible for the cards. But the behind the scenes legwork that people put in, and I know this from being a dealer that sets up too. There's a lot of work that goes into it, so it's not as easy as like just selling a $10 card. Like you got to go, you got to first of all you got to source that card, find that card, get it somehow. Then you got to look it up. Then you got to like it obviously doesn't take long to do it when you're doing one card. But he just showed us an entire 4 row or entire
Oh,
2 rows, and that's just one of them, right? Like you probably have a 4 row of cheap like dollar cards, $2 card. Exactly. You're putting them in top loaders. You're putting them in team bags after that, getting them ready to go. And it takes hours worth of work, which also people don't understand, but you sometimes are baking in that into some of your, into some of your costs, we'll say. And because it's got to be worth it for you. You're paying $1,000 for the table, and you're also spending probably how many hours would you say of prep work ahead of time just getting ready for Expo? Probably 10-ish hours at
Oh,
least. No?
I mean, if you really like accumulate everything, like I'm talking when you put everything into what it takes to set up at Expo, I'm talking about as hard it is to go out to card shows, spend a day and buy stuff for it, and
That's
as
true.
small it is just sitting in your bed, thinking of cards you want to buy, texting people. Like it could be as big as spending a whole Sunday going to a show just to buy stuff, or like
You're
you
right.
said, as small as taking half an hour. Today I went to Dollarama just to pick up a bunch of what did they go? I just
Stickers
had
and
a bunch of stickers and stuff like this. Like that takes a half an hour, and you don't want a penny pinch or anything like that. But in the grand scheme of things, it takes a big effort to really get it cooking. So I'm hopefully thinking that this expo booth is probably going to be my best, and I've definitely put a lot of time into it. But yeah, definitely hoping to sell a lot this year.
Well, next week we'll do more of a deeper dive, and maybe we'll put out an early podcast like on Monday or Tuesday of Expo week, and we can let everyone know where Anthony's booth is going to be. And let's do a giveaway again. Last year we did a giveaway where we had people come up to your booth and use the code word Haven, and the 10th person who did it was got a Vlad Guerrero bobblehead. We'll figure something out in the next week, and we'll definitely do another giveaway. So stay tuned and keep an ear out for either next week's podcast or the week after, probably both podcasts. We'll talk about it. You can find out what the code word is going to be and where Anthony's going to be all weekend. And, one lucky listener of the pod will walk away with something. And we're going to have to get you set up with some stickers too at your.
Yeah, I know. I
booth.
don't even have any stickers yet. I've been
I
talking about it for
know.
months. Like,
I know.
geez.
I know. I keep forgetting to give them to you every time I run into you at shows, but I got a couple hundred stickers that I can get to you. And again, if you swing by Anthony's booth, pick up a sticker, chuck it on that slab case. That's what it's for, man. I got it on mine. I know you got one on yours, and Brandon, and even the card show that I was at this weekend. A couple people walked past said they enjoyed the show. They're having a lot of fun with it, and asked if we had stickers lying around, and of course we do. You know, we always bring them out to the show. So if you see me walking around, you see Anthony at the show, make sure to ask for a Hockey Card Haven podcast sticker. So just so everyone is aware. Okay, so when it comes to Expo, I remember we talked about this before. There was good money to be made in people who had Phil Kessel cards last year, because Phil Kessel was signing at Expo. And you got a lot of people who realize that once they get there and they're like, I want to go and get a Phil Kessel card signed, right? But you can insert any player who's going to be there signing cards or signing whatever into that conversation. And I don't know if you've seen the guest list this year or if you've taken that into consideration when you're, gearing up for Expo, if you're pulling some cards out. But quite the list of guys who are signing this year, Anthony. I'm gonna pull it up right now because I've actually have the Expo site already pulled up here. Look at the list of names. So we'll start, on Thursday. So Thursday, is it gonna give me everybody? Yeah.
There we go.
So sorry, no one on Thursday. Sorry. The autographs start Friday for anyone who's looking to go on Friday. Friday's a busy day. You got a couple of Maple Leafs. You got Steven Lorentz and Matthew Nyes, both going to be there signing autographs on Friday. You've got Darcy Tucker and Stumpy Thomas, two from the older guard who are going to be there also signing autographs on Friday. And then Bill Ranford, former goaltender, is also going to be there Friday. So you already have you're going to have a massive line for Matthew Nyes. You already know it. Nyes is just like he was last year, probably going to be one of the most highly sought after players, I would imagine, at this Expo. Going to be a lot of people trying to pick him up based on him being kind of the future here in Toronto. And the fact that he's going to be at Expo signing autographs, you just know that people are going to be picking up cheap, low-end Matthew Nyes cards. So did you stock up on your Nyes? I guess just gearing up, making sure that you got lots of stock for lots of people who are going to be out there looking.
So I picked up a bunch of. Actually, I sent you a photo last week. So I was actually at the CSC show, and you kind of talked about it when you first started talking about the autographs, and the angle of picking up players that are signing autographs is so crucial. Like the example of Phil Kessel last year, you don't really see at shows people asking for Phil Kessel, but at this particular time last year, everyone was running around kind of saying, "Oh, do you have a Phil Kessel Young Guns? I need one. Like I got to do an autograph in 20 minutes and I don't want to miss it, blah, blah, blah." I really think this is going to happen with Matthew Nyes. So I picked up, have it ready here. I mean, picked up a little bit more than I was expecting, but I think I have around 12 or 13 Matthew Nyes Young Guns.
Look at this.
So I ended up paying a little bit more than I wanted to get these, but I really think, and this is a hot take, I really think for whatever reason, he'll be so popular on that Thursday and Friday. I think people are going to ask north of $70 for his Young Guns. Like, I think it could get ridiculous. I think it could get ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy. I don't want to, throw something out from left field, but $100 for a Young Gun raw, I could definitely see it happening next weekend. I could see it happening.
I was at a show this weekend where I saw a price tag already at $100, which is kind of high. But
it's incredibly high.
It wouldn't shock me if they're regularly selling that weekend. I mean, I think that the Leafs got to pick up their play over the next couple of weeks. The way that they're playing right now isn't too great, I would say. He's been pretty good, I would say. He's been one of the better players on the Maple Leafs. But that being said, I still think the demand's going to be super high. Wouldn't be shocked to see regular sales going for $70 to $80. Right now, his Young Guns is going for about 55, 60 right now, between 50 and $60. You can get it pretty regularly. I think $75, $80 is probably a price that people are going to be stickering at, looking to get that weekend. And with him being there on the Friday, I could imagine Thursday, Friday, specifically those days, them being a little bit more expensive as well. So if you move over to Saturday, the list just continues to grow here. Ben Danford and Mats Sundin in attendance. Sundin signing on the Saturday. It's going to be bedlam. It's going to be absolute pandemonium with that guy in Toronto signing autographs at the Sport Card Expo. Saturday's gonna be crazy for that alone. Like so many people are gonna show up that day, pay their $20 to get a ticket to enter to go and get a Matt Sundin puck, a picture, a jersey, a card, whatever. Like that's a guy who also I think is going to be a hot seller this weekend. He's always a hot seller. It's Matt Sundin. He's one of the greatest Maple Leafs of all time. But yeah, there he goes. You were picking up some cheap Sundin rookie cards, and those are going to fly, absolutely fly off the shelves. This at this expo, I can guarantee it. Gary Roberts, another Maple Leaf, who's going to be in attendance. Trevor Kidd, Duncan Keith is going to be there. Kevin Stevens. So there's going to be a bunch of guys who are going to be in attendance. Who else? Anyone? Yari Curry, Glenn Anderson, also going to be there. Jennifer Botterill going to be there. And the Trailer Park Boys, funny enough, going to be in attendance as well. Anyone on Sunday? I'm not sure if who's going to be there on Sunday. Patrice Bergeron. Yeah, Patrice Bergeron. Mike Modano on Sunday. Brad Park, Willie O'Ree, Pascal Dupuis. Like Sunday is going to be busy too. Serge Savard. I mean, there's some big names that are going to be in attendance signing on Sunday as well. So kudos to the Sport Card Expo, man. Like they got some big names out here that are going to be signing autographs at the Expo, and you just know that people are going to be even if it's a base card, someone will want a card, and like just to have them ready. Like if I were setting up as a dealer, I would probably go through some base and try and pull out some cards. Not even to not like sell them like a buck probably for a base card for any of those players. Just for me going through thousands of base to find these cards, at least make it worth it for that situation. But I guarantee you people are going to be looking for some stuff of these guys to move to. But some really good names are going to be at Expo this year.
Yeah, I think even too, like if you're a dealer that has a lot of time right now between now and the start of Expo, and this is something that could have been looked at obviously months ago and leading up to the Expo, every time you see someone being added to the list. But even for next year, get a little two-row bin if you're a dealer. Every time you see someone added to the list, check, do I have cards of this guy? Throw it in the two-row bin. And then when the Expo comes around and someone says, oh, I have an autograph signing with XYZ in 30 minutes, you can say, all right, let me pull out my two-row. All right,
Yeah.
I know I have
Here's
everyone.
Insert,
Okay,
right? Here's a Sundin insert from 04, 05. Here it is. Bang. 02, 03 insert. Bang. Like
simple.
super, super quick. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's certainly gonna be a good time. Did I tell you what my idea is for like what I'll be doing at Expo? So last week on the show, I opened up a box of Series 1 on camera, and I got skunked. There was nothing. Go check out the podcast from last week, and you'll see absolutely terrible box. But I had a second box that I didn't open up on camera. I only wanted to open up one because I didn't want the video to be 45 minutes long. So I opened up a second one, and sure enough, in the second box, I got an Ivan Demidov Young Guns. Sure enough, the Demidov Young Guns comes in that second box I didn't open on stream. Then I bought another box from another local card store, Dolly's, and sure enough, I got another Demidov Young Gun. So I ended up with two Demidov Young Guns. So I sold one of them at the show over the weekend because, again, the prices were really high this weekend. They're going to drop. We're going to get into the market shift already within a week in just a moment here, just again to further that point, to not buy and to sell at Expo or on release. But it's a very clean copy. And I don't know if you've heard, but a lot of Demidov copies have not come out clean. There's been a lot of issues, whether it's corner problems or there's been like chips up in the top. Doesn't seem like there was great quality control with this year's Young Gun set. So that one happens to be one of the better copies that I had. So I am going to actually try and grade that copy. So I sold one and I got another one and I'm going to grade it. And I want to see what happens because There's only a couple weeks. There's what, 3 weeks, I guess, between the release of Series
Really?
1
Yeah.
and the and Expo. And I don't think that's enough time for Demidov Young Guns to get sent to PSA and come back with everything that's going on. Seems very unlikely that that's going to happen. There might be some people who pay for an express that live in the States. Maybe they can get it super quick, but unlikely to be a lot of PSA graded Demidov on the market by the time Expo starts. PSA is going to be at Expo. I'm going to bring this and I'm going to get it. I'm going to pay the $100 to get it graded on site, and I think it has a great chance to gem. And if it does gem, I'll be one of the first to market with a PSA 10 Ivan Demidov Young Guns. And if you look at what, those first to market PSA 10 Young Guns have gone for like superstars over the years, they've gone for stupid, stupid money. And Demidov being the king of Montreal right now, the demigod, it's something that I just want to try doing. It's not something that I would recommend everyone do. But because I opened up a couple boxes and I got two, I sold one, and then I'm going to keep one, grade it, and see if I can get a 10, if not a 9. Regardless, I still think I'm good at that point. It's more of an experiment for me to see what the prices will be for PSA 10 at Expo, considering the low pop count that it'll have at that point.
Yeah, and even too, like obviously, if you do end up having the first come to market, and you really don't get someone that is looking to bite cash wise. If you remember when Bedard, his PSA 10s were just going nuclear, and we talked about a trade that Laffer did. Riley traded an Austin Matthews PSA 10 plus cash for his Connor Bedard Young Guns PSA 10. Like looking back, it's crazy that that deal went down. So who knows? I mean, if you end up with it, all things align perfectly. Maybe you don't get the right cash offer, but geez, you could get a really good trade offer that down the road could look really good. So
Yeah.
considering PSA is coming to Toronto, and like you said, the time frame of getting it done, and I don't think anyone's going to go pay like $700. Like it would probably cost near $1,000 to get it done in time for Expo, and shipping it and express back and tariffs and any issues at the border,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. So I like the idea. I like the play.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. Fun little experiment. I want to get to Series 1, and we preached last week, don't buy on release. It's the hype is never worth it. And within a week this stuff was going to drop, and by Expo it probably would be half the price that it was on release day. Well, we've taken a look at the top 5 young guns that we had from last week. That was Ivan Demidov, Jimmy Snuggerud, Ryan Leonard, Zane Perek, and then Sam Rinzel was the 5th name that we had for our top 5 young guns from the 25-26 set. We talked about what they were going for on release day and what they are now. So we'll go 5-1, starting with Rinzel, finishing off with Demidov. Talk about kind of where these cards are at. So Sam Rinzel was a $25 young gun on release day, Anthony. He's now going for $10 and
Jeez.
probably going to continue to fall from there. Like Rinzel's probably a card that'll hover in the $5 range between, once we get to Expo. I can almost guarantee that'll be the case, right? Like the Olin Zellweger range for a comparison. It's just seems to be where those types of players end up. If they don't pop right away and put up big numbers, there might be a little bit of hype, but it's a card that's probably going to end up being a $5 card. It's already down to just $10. What's that? 150% loss
Oh, big
decrease.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
In less than a week.
In a week. So Rinsella is at 5. Zane Perek, $35. Now just $20 for Zane Perek Young Guns. Ryan Leonard, $40 on release day. That's now cut in half. Just $20 for Ryan Leonard Young Guns. Jimmy Snuggerud was a $50-$60 card when it first came out on release day 1 week ago. $20 now, Anthony, for Jimmy Snuggerud rookie Young Guns is what it's comping at, selling regularly on eBay. And Ivan Demidov, Anthony, Ivan Demidov was going for 300 to 350. We see multiple sales as high as 350 on release day. It's now down to 225, 250-ish in that range. So even the Demidov has lost $100 in value since release. It's not a shocker, Anthony. This is just what happens each and every year, and it's just another it's another, example of why you don't rush to buy the young guns on opening weekend.
Yeah, and I think too, obviously, we could just keep doing this. Like next week, we might even do a quick check-in just to see how these five guys are doing. And who knows, Rinzel could be $5. Like I'm looking at a guy like Snuggerud still that even at $20, I know people are high on him, but should be around that $10 range. I think Demidov should hover over 200. I think he's going to settle in around 175, 200. But now we talked about it last week. Like, try to stay away as much as possible from picking up players on release week, let alone release day. I mean, stay away as much as possible. Sure,
Yeah.
pick up your boxes and sell what you need, but the proof's in the pudding. Like we talked about it last week, and then here's your proof right now. And we could go look at series 2 whenever it comes out. I'm sure we're gonna have this exact same conversation.
Yep. Yep. I think we will. Any of these that have they gotten to a point where they're a buy for you at any point, or you still see them going down?
I still like Zane Perek. I feel like $20 is a little high, but like if he gets to $10, $15, he's very talented. I know
Yeah.
$20 is kind of his going rate now. I'm hoping it drops a little bit more, and who knows? I mean, Canadian team, Canadian market. If they could pick it up this year, I think that Perek could be a sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting name, Zane Perek. Snuggerud at 20 kind of surprised me they dropped that much. Like
That's a lot.
Yeah, like to drop a third of a price, like it's now going for a third of its opening day pricing, seems like maybe that's about where it's going to be for a little. I think I'd be surprised if it dropped like crazy further, maybe like 15 by Expo, but 15, $20 for a Snuggerud, a guy who's going to be in the mix for rookie of the year, maybe worth kind of picking up a couple just to see if he can, be a dude in the NHL. But still probably going to be some fall for some of these guys. And Demidov, 150 by Expo. That's my guess. It'll be down to $150 by Expo for the Ivan Demidov Young Guns. That's a projection that I've got here. Anthony, you want to talk about those new bootleg cards from Series 1? Kind of the quasi case hit, maybe is the way to kind of put it. Super short printed card that was placed into Series 1. It's one of the newer inserts. What did you like about the bootleg? What do you want to talk about them?
So I thought they were really cool. I mean, it kind of flew over my head. I didn't even know that they were part of the set when I was looking through the checklist or how short printed they were. I mean, 1 in 1,440 packs. And I know you're going to pull it up because
Yep.
they're just so incredibly nice. Like I've looked at it and I wanted to almost compare it. I was doing a little bit of research to the downtowns. And I know we don't talk about football and basketball and too much stuff regarding other sports cards. We kind of stick to hockey. But I mean, I was considering these to almost be the new downtown just because of how cool they looked. The only downside of it that I didn't love was the black border and the black card, obviously making it a little bit difficult. I could see in the future to grading. I mean, obviously, you look at a Future Watch Auto with the white border, makes it a little bit easier. But like we see here for YouTube watchers, the black border is kind of tough to get a PSA 10. I could see that being a thing in the future, but these are really nice looking cards, like really nice. I could definitely see them holding their value. There was a couple big sales for the Connor McDavid. I saw Sidney Crosby do at least $1,000, I think it was, and McDavid did like 22. But they look really nice. I mean, these are sweet, just so sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up and see what it's going for. So Kucherov one just sold today at auction, went for $66 for a Kucherov, but a Connor
Wow.
McDavid sold a couple days ago, 923. Now it's a best offer, so
Oh,
I don't know. Ryan Leonard, a rookie, best offer went for $308. An Austin Matthews went for 160 bucks. Nathan McKinnon went for 259 on auction. Jack Hughes went for 192 on auction. Cole Caulfield 260 on auction. Nylander 180. Bedard went for 330 on auction. Two of them, another 330, one at 348. So yeah, like there seems to be a lot of a lot of fanfare for these cards. Seems like there's a market to support them too, obviously, with guys out here a week later realizing what this card is. And Billy Cilio, I've heard him multiple times come out and say that technically Series 1, like flagship, doesn't have quote case hits. Like they're not slotted into cases that way. It is just completely random. You could get 2 in 1 box. You could get, none in 3 cases. Like it just is, it is what it is when it comes to flagship, apparently. But yeah, these are 1 in 1,440 packs. And I guess how many boxes is that? That's what? So 144 divided by 12, because there's what, 12 boxes? So 144 or 1,044 divided by 12. Like you're getting 120 boxes.
Jeez.
120 boxes on that bad boy. So wow, what's going on? Someone messaging me right away. What's going on here? We'll get out of that there for now. But anyway, so yeah, like we're talking about multiple cases before you're able to pop one of these open. So they're super, super rare, super short printed. And to your point, like, could this be the downtown? Could this be the color blast? Hockey needs to do a better job. And we did an episode in this in the summer. I remember if you were on it or if it was Brandon and I who talked about this, how Upper Deck needs to do a better job of kind of advertising their case hits, and they need to do a better job of making sure people are aware of what cards are special, because there are so many case hits that people don't even know that they are case hits. Stuff that is, very tough, tough to pull. I have a card here. Did I pull it out? I meant to pull it out, actually. You know what? Actually, I think I have one here. Let me see what these are doing right now. Like O-Pee-Chee Glow Peachy cards. Are you familiar with the Glow Peachy?
I remember you sending the photo last week. I know you were talking about a Kucherov that you wanted to touch on a little bit on the pod, because this is the conversation, right? Where people could be sifting through a dollar bin and they just kind of buy a card.
Holographics. I don't know if I have that specific card on me. Yeah, I don't know if I have that specific card on me, because I think I probably already put it in my value bin. But it's the holographics here. I'll pull it up actually really quickly on Card Ladder. But like the holographics, how the heck do they spell holographics? I don't even know how to spell it here. Hollow Fame Futures. Oh, I can't even. I forget what it's called exactly, but yeah, like it's a card I found in a dollar bin. At the end of the day, it was a card I found in the dollar bin that is case hits, like literally case hits. I think they're called like Hall of Fame from like Hollow FX. Hall of Fame.
I was trying to look for the photo that you sent me. I can't find it.
Yeah, I thought I sent you a photo of it, but either way, it's a perfect example of a card that is super hard to pull. Like those are, like I think it was 1 in like 3 cases or something. It's like multiple hundreds of packs to get one. And meanwhile, I found a Kucherov case hit in a dollar bin, because why? No one actually knows that it's a case hit. No one knows that it is a super rare card, because it just kind of looks the same, I guess. Looks just like a regular old card, but it's not. It's different, and it's a case hit, but it's just not advertised as such. No one really knows. So, yeah, I think that they need to do a little bit of a better job doing that as a whole. But these are cool. These are definitely cool. The one I want to show, these are like cases. I think these ones are kind of more well known, but like, like a Glow Peachy, right? Like I bought this weekend. It's a Glow Peachy. It's an insert card from the O-Pee-Chee paper set. but they're one per case. So like they're case hits, right? Like they are. That's what they are, and they're super cool cards that don't have a lot of love and notoriety. And they're pretty cheap. Like how much is a downtown? I mean, you're paying hundreds of dollars for any down,
Minimum like $200, I'd imagine, for like
even a
one of the worst
bum player.
downtowns. Yeah.
I saw somebody pay $250 for a Will Levis downtown. Like Will Levis, brother. Like he's a backup quarterback for the worst team in football. And so I paid $200 for his rookie downtown, or 250 this summer. It was insane.
I even remember like a couple weeks ago just looking at some prices just to kind of get familiar with it. And yeah, look, Zach Wilson, downtown rookie, still selling for $300. Like this guy is out of the league. I mean, I know probably sitting on some practice squad. I couldn't even tell you, but I mean, I don't know if maybe the bootleg being the new downtown for hockey is a stretch, but I do think they are cool.
No, I mean it very well could be. Like it could be the new downtown, I guess. Like I don't know if this is going to be like the actual downtown, if it'll have like that type of love that like everyone wants to get these. But I think that there will definitely be some desirability to these cards. That's for sure. So we'll see, what these end up pricing out at. But seems like there's some pretty high sales so far. So there must be some hype there for those bad boys. Speaking of hype, it's kind of the anti-hype, I suppose. It was a conversation I want to get into about kind of like some undervalued plays in the hobby and some things I've been thinking about recently. So, and this kind of stems a little bit from the basketball market going absolutely stupid for like Hall of Fame legend autos. And we haven't hit that point in hockey yet, but I feel like that could come where, these legends of the game from the 90s, 2000s, from the 80s, 70s, I feel like there could be a time where they get their appreciation, where you got, some older people with excess money looking to buy some cards and realizing that, oh, I could buy this person's autograph. And, as time goes on, I think there could be an opportunity here for these players and these autos to maybe rise in value. But there's a really kind of undervalued market, I feel, right now in the hobby, and that's unlicensed autos specifically. Now, unlicensed, like I understand, like it's kind of like an icky word in the hobby. I mean, you shook your head when I said that because you probably have a different opinion of me. But at the end of the day, it's still an autograph of, like your favorite player or some of the best players in the world. And most of these are really short printed too. Like I look at Leaf as a set in particular. You can get some really cool looking, low numbered, low pop autos for dirt cheap. Like I bought this Boreas Salming auto over the weekend. I got it in a trade, but it's a Leaf auto, but it's Boreas Salming. Like it's a beautiful card. Boreas Salming Leaf auto. It's numbered to 15, so it's super low count, low pop, and Boreas Salming has now passed, so he's not signing anything anymore, obviously. So they're going to be very scarce autographs when you find them. Like, you're going to tell me that a Salming auto, number to 15, should only be like a $25, $30 card? Like, how does that make sense? Make that make sense.
I get it because of the Leaf aspect of it. I mean, weirdly enough, if there anyone out there that is selling Boreas Salming cards, I might actually inquire for that one too. My dad is a big Boreas Salming card, so every time I come across one, I always try and scoop it up for him. And he has a little PC going. I actually scooped up a cool Leaf 1 of 1 for him. But I know
you got it super cheap, right?
Yeah, it was like super cheap, but even still, like you said, like for him to be under $50 is kind of crazy. Obviously, with he's not going to be signing again, but it brings up the argument, like you said, are Leaf cards really undervalued? Or I mean, are
Anthony, let me put it this way, right? So here, let me share this screen again. right? This card like comps at like $30, right? Comps around $30 for this Boreas Salming on card, or it's not on card, it's a sticker auto, but Boreas Salming numbered to 15. Now it's again Leaf, so it is unlicensed, but it's a sticker auto and it's low numbered. Now there is a upper deck on card, which is different. It is an on card sale, I will say, for much more. That is much more expensive, but it is also a card that is numbered to 15. So, like, that's where I'm looking, and I'm like, both cards are numbered to 15. The fact that it's licensed versus unlicensed, is it really worth that much more? Like, that's where I'm struggling with this one. Like, is the card that is unlicensed only worth 30 really only worth a tenth of what it should be? Where is this card? Why can't I pull it up here? Hold on. There it is. There we go. Like, look at this. So this one went for $345.
That's
It's
fire.
Boreas Salming. It's number 15, but it's licensed. It went for $345. You tell me which card you would prefer. Would you rather this one right here for $350, or would you rather this one right here for $50? Like, which one are you gonna go after? You tell me.
I mean, I do think that obviously the answer is kind of slapping you in the face with would you rather spend 350 or $50 for what is essentially the same autograph? But I do think that there's an argument with Leaf. I don't know if you remember, I think it was a couple years ago with Rampage Thompson where he kind of tweeted out saying like, "Hey, that's not my autograph on the Leaf card." And I feel like that's why Leaf is so much cheaper. Obviously, like you said, unlicensed. It's going to be cheaper right off the rip. Value wise, I mean, I'd probably rather have yours for $50. But to go back to the alleged conversation where Jackson said that's not my autograph. And I don't know if you remember, PSA didn't want to authenticate a Pele auto from Leaf as well. There's been
Yeah,
a couple conversations where,
but there's
autographs have been put into question, but even
yeah,
so,
but
is that
this
enough?
happens, but this also happens with Panini. This happens with licensed cards too, right? It's not just a Leaf thing. Who was it? Ray Davis, I think, of the Buffalo Bills. Like, there was some cards of his that came out, and the autograph was just like stupid looking. He was getting made fun of. He's like, I wasn't even me who signed them. Like, he literally came out and said that he had someone else sign his cards or someone else signed them, and it's like that was a licensed product. So it's regardless, there's going to be issues, whether it's licensed or unlicensed, but you would hope that everyone's being truthful. And when it says on the back that this autograph is guaranteed by Leaf, that it is, in fact, an auto. But I don't know. I think that it might be undervalued. Like the greats. Like I saw there was a one of one Leafs legend card that Brandon sold last a couple of weeks ago. It had Dougie, it had Sittler,
Hmm.
Wendell, and Sundin. I think it was 4 autos, 1 card, and it was a one of one. And I think it went for like $200. Like $200 for all those players. It was
Wow.
insane, for that card. Just feels like something that absolutely should be worth more. You get all 4 of those guys on the same card, a Leaf Legends like that, one of one. How is it so cheap? So that for me is like kind of, I don't know. I feel like there might be it could potentially be an undervalued play right now that in the future might pay off. That's all I'm saying. Right now they're super cheap. Maybe they go up, maybe they don't, but I think there's an opportunity there to get some legends of the game, some real legends of the game. You can get their autos dirt cheap, and I think there's an opportunity there.
And I think, like you mentioned too, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer where you only really need to spend $50 and there's so much upside compared to needing to spend $350. I mean, it's definitely worth taking a risk. Would I do it? Probably not. I've never really been too attracted to Leaf auto cards, but for that price, I mean, let's say something pops up, Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid or someone very well known in the NHL now that is noticeably cheaper than any Upper Deck or license card. I mean, it's probably worth the stab, but for now, I'll stay away from it.
All right. So we kind of sit on different sides of the aisle on that one. So I'll continue to pick up some cheap Leaf greats. Leaf product. I'll pick up Leaf Legends as well. But some undervalued autos of the greats in the NHL, and yeah, you can leave them all for me. That's okay with me. All right, Anthony, let's get to some pickups of the week. We both were at shows over the weekend. What did you scoop up? You already showed us your Matthew Nyes collection. What else you pick up this weekend?
So I picked up a little bit more, but these are three of my favorites from the weekend. So we talked about this guy last week, Brady Tkachuk. Don't really see a future watch of him available all the time, and saw this at the show and kind of had a little bit of a conversation with the seller about his injury, and bought at what comps were before his injury. I feel like he's popular enough that paying full comp is pretty good. Captain on a Canadian market, so was super fired up to get this Brady Tkachuk. Picked up this Leon Draisaitl. This is nasty. So confusing with comps. We were kind of going back and forth a little bit, but a Connor McDavid sold for $392 of this. Same year, same numbering, same everything. Obviously, just different player. Just off the top of my head, I kind of said, all right, if McDavid goes for 390, what Draisaitl is going to go for at least $200, $250, maybe. Just to guess, $100 this one sold for. So that did not make any sense for me, but I think this is a really sweet card to pick up. Crazy how a McDavid goes for 400 and then a Draisaitl goes for only 100. So I don't know about that, but
it does make sense though. Like, it's Draisaitl's markets, unless it's his literal young guns, I feel like his market's very undervalued as well. Because everyone wants McDavid. Anyone who's an Oilers fan wants McDavid. I don't know. Did you freeze? I think you're frozen. I think I either stunned him or he is frozen right now. Than he is.
you got
right. Okay, frozen. You're back. You look frozen as hell just a second ago.
I'm good. I'm good. I was stunned by your take, even though I didn't get to hear it. But I would imagine that you said something along the lines of, "Oh, well, it's Connor McDavid," which is also true. But the way that I looked at it, kind of caught me by surprise. But either way, super happy to pick that up. And then you alluded to it a little earlier, and hopefully you show your Josh Allen. But I want to keep picking up Bill stuff for the Expo because they're so popular. And picked up a Keon Coleman Silver Prism PSA 10, nice. And I didn't really want to get any Keon Coleman stuff, but I was thinking, you know what? Like, if I'm going to get a Prism, it's got to be the silver, because I know that silvers are usually hard to grade, and there's a big increase between a raw and a PSA 10 of it. And this is usually the card that pops for football. And, not a hockey card, but to kind of talk about being versatile as a vendor at the Expo, I feel like that's something we're going to talk about next week too. So those are three that I'm gonna have at the Expo if anyone's interested.
Yeah, I picked up a nasty
Boom.
Josh Allen RPA, or just rookie patch, I guess, but sick patch, numbered to 10. So nice. Yeah, I thought that was a sick card. Really sick pickup this past weekend at the show. And there was another one too, both Obsidian, but rookie case hit of the, what do they call it? The Vitreous? Yeah. Case hit, number 50, that one. So those are the couple of buys that I got when it comes to football, but I did get some pretty cool hockey pickups this weekend as well. I picked this up, Marc-Andre Fleury and Jordan Staal dual auto. Again, be a player, very nasty, and be a player is not licensed anymore. It was at the time, right? Like, Upper Deck didn't have exclusive licensing at the time. But picking up a dual auto, it's Jordan Stahl's rookie year too, so it's half a rookie card. And again, like Marc-Andre Fleury, you don't see his signed stuff all that often. So I was like, you know what? This is a sick card. Like, any Flower fan, I think they're going to want a card like this. So thought that was pretty sweet. So I picked that up. You see these antiquity cards? You a fan of the antiquities?
Oh, I've never seen that. It kind of looks like the stained glass, like they
Yeah,
do with football. That's
it
crazy.
is very similar. I don't think they're not nearly as short printed as the ones in football are, obviously, but it is a really cool insert that they had in Artifacts. So yeah, this is from last year's. Yeah, because I think this year they're horizontal for some reason, but picked up a Mitch Marner Antiquity. I already showed you the Makar Glow Peachy, but that was a sick pickup to go along with my Makar Stature Auto out of
There we go. Out of 10.
10 color match. The color match too with the Colorado blue. And this is a beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful card here. It looks even cooler in hand. Like, I mean, Stature is just an unbelievable product. An unbelievable product. So that was a really nice pickup. A little Corey Perry. How about a Corey Perry Program of Excellence
Look at
auto
that.
number 10? Yeah, just a cool card. It's out of the cup. So it's a Corey Perry Cup auto out of 10. Pretty cool. How about Felix the Cat Pop Band auto number to 100? Nice little pop band number to 100. Where's the number in there? Number 1 out of 100 at that.
Man, I love the Panini hockey cards. Like I was just looking at, and I know I have it right here. I was looking through my PC stuff for Expo cards, and I always kind of do that. I don't want to PC everything, but this
Panini had
quad
sick
through
stuff.
just so nasty. Like I thought this was so cool. Out of 100, cool color
Yeah.
auto, and obviously the
Dominion was sick back in the day.
Oh, so
Contenders. Panini had sick stuff. I really liked when Panini did hockey when they were battling it out during like the dual rookie year of 13, 14, and beyond. And this is a really cool card, actually. Steve Yzerman auto, deep cuts, number to 75.
Hmm.
75? Yeah, from Game Use. So an Eisman auto. Again, I feel like picking up legendary, like legend autos is just such a safe play. And people want that stuff. Like people love Steve Yzerman in Detroit. Love that guy. People love Felix Potvin in Toronto in a Leafs uniform, right? Marc-Andre Fleury in a Pens uniform. People love those greats, those stars, those Hall of Famers. And they're just safe pickups and like they're just good buys, really good buys with a high floor and a pretty good ceiling as well. So I picked up a lot of stuff, that I'm gonna be selling on the Whatnot stream. Like I have literally, I stopped at a table and went absolutely
ham.
dollar bin diving and got an entire 2 row worth of stuff here that will be available in our Whatnot stream. I think actually we're going to be streaming Thursday, actually. So yeah, to tomorrow night, I think we're going to be doing a stream. Brandon and I, we'll put the link down below for Whatnot. But yeah, so there's a bunch of pickups, but those were kind of the main guys that I grabbed over the weekend right there.
Nice. I like it. Good stuff.
You attending any shows this weekend? Kind of the final weekend of stuff, I guess, before it's go time in a couple weeks.
Probably staying away from the shows this weekend. Just get ready for the Jays, and kind of the CSC was my last. I was like, you know what, this is the last hurrah before I start getting ready for the Expo. A couple things coming in the mail, but besides that, I think this is it.
Yeah, you got the Markham Card Show on Saturday. Run the Hobby in Woodbridge on Sunday, and then in my neck of the woods, they have the Niagara Collectible Show. Usually a heavy TCG show. There's a couple of sports vendors that show up. I might go check it out. We'll see. But is going on Sunday in Niagara Falls. All right, Anthony, you got anything else for us, or are we good to wrap it up here?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, that'll do it for us here today on the podcast. I thank you all for listening and supporting the show. You can subscribe right here on YouTube. You can also listen to us on the go on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Hockey Card Haven podcast.